And with that, the Vancouver Canucks have officially clinched last place in the National Hockey League. It's been a pleasure, my friends. The Canucks had an opportunity to clinch last place yesterday when they played off against Colorado. They needed to lose in any fashion to get that clinch. But they ended up winning. So, yeah, that was pretty great. Now, against the Minnesota Wild, the Vancouver Canucks lose 5-2 on a grand night where Quinn Hughes plays off against the team that he once captained for multiple seasons. After all the drama and harsh feelings that went back and forth between the fans and this one individual. If you hadn't seen it, we made a video earlier this afternoon about Quinn Hughes and the shocking comments that he had made before this Canucks game. Turns out he's got some pretty interesting opinions about the way things went in Vancouver and why things inevitably fell out between him and the organization. Was it an inevitability, or was it preventable? Who knows? With that said, Quinn Hughes and the Wild end up defeating Vancouver 5-2, and this does not really look like one of these games where the Canucks can hang their hat on. Maybe early on there were some moments, and Nikita Tolopilo definitely had some saves, but at the end of the day, second half of a back-to-back for the Canucks, this was not a night where they were supposed to win. Minnesota, well rested, they haven't been playing all too much as of late, so I don't think anybody's really surprised to see the result over here. This also fits very well, because Chicago is losing right now to Edmonton, and Vancouver, if they wanted to clinch last place, it would have been preferred if Chicago started getting some more points, but unfortunately, that's not happening. Let's dive into the goals with this Vancouver and Minnesota game, however. Scoring started nice and early. 8 minutes in, you have Matt Boldy, who ends up taking advantage of a Vancouver clearing attempt that doesn't go out. It's P.O. Joseph trying to clear it on the backhand up the boards. It gets easily picked off. Eriksson Ek, Marcus Johansson ends up taking it. He sends it over to Boldy, who comes in on Nikita Tolopilo and does a really nice little 5-hole play there. He just fires it right through the wickets. Beautiful play, beautiful shot, and I think Matt Boldy was aiming to go 5-hole the entire way through. Give it about 8 minutes, and this is when Teddy Blueger does the old Kevin Bieksa to Maxime Lapierre play. Blueger has the puck in the Wild zone. He fires it towards the goal, but it goes wide. It then pops out on the opposite side where Tom Willander streaks in and buries it into the open cage. It is almost a textbook copy-paste of the Kevin Bieksa to Maxime Lapierre play from 15 years ago, but it's Tom Willander instead who gets the goal. 42 seconds after that, with Joel Eriksson Ek in the box, you have Jake DeBrusk, who ends up burying his 18th on the season. It's Elias Pettersson to Filip Gustavsson, who fires it towards the goal. It then pops off at the crossbar, goes airborne, and Jake DeBrusk cuts into the crease to swat it into the open cage. 2-1 hockey game. The Vancouver Canucks have the lead. And unfortunately, that's all she wrote for Vancouver. Because 23 seconds into the second period, you have the Canucks with the puck in the Wild zone. It's Zeev Buyum who ends up making a mistake trying to send it across to Phil Hronek. It's a D-to-D play that does not work, and Matt Boldy ends up getting a breakaway because of it. He comes in on Nikita Tolopilo and then whips it glove side. Hey, Matt Boldy is very good. He is not going to make a mistake when you give him that much time and space. That's his 40th goal of the season. My goodness, Matt Boldy, you gotta calm down, bud. But it's a tie game, 2-2. It doesn't stay tied for long, as about 5 minutes later, you have Kirill Kaprizov. He said, Matt Boldy, you got your 40th goal this season? Well, I'm just going to go out there and do the same thing. He gets a really nice one-time feed from Matt Zuccarello on the right side. Kaprizov does the old Leon Draisaitl shot, and it goes in right by Tolopilo. It's a really nice goal. Good movement, good plays. That's two 40-goal scorers scoring their 40th goals of the season in the same period against the Vancouver Canucks. How unfortunate is that for Tolo? And it continues into the third period, not the 40-goal stuff, but Ryan Hartman ends up getting 2 in the third. He gets a tip out in front from Zuccarello and Quinn Hughes. Total screen on Tolopilo. He cannot see the puck. And you also have Tom Willander that is trapped in front of the net. He is not able to move Ryan Hartman and his big behind out of the way. I think Ray Ferraro said it best. This was a really big learning moment for Tom Willander. Just understanding the positioning and how to plant yourself in front of the goal and just what that looks like, how to execute it properly. That's a learning moment. It's a teachable moment. Tom Willander is young, and we all understand that he is going to be a big part of this Vancouver Canucks future. But that future is not now, as Ryan Hartman is able to get by and get the goal. Hartman then gets an empty netter with about a minute to go, and that is the 5-2 mark. Vancouver loses this one after having a 2-1 lead. Hey, you can't beat them all, right? And these Central Division teams are pretty darn good. They destroyed Colorado 8-6 yesterday, and then this day they had themselves Quinn Hughes. So, yeah. You know, I kind of find it funny how when Quinn Hughes got that point on the first Ryan Hartman goal, you could hear the crowd really cheering super loud when Hughes' name was announced in the building. It was like, they're playing up to it, aren't they? In a way, I do feel kind of weird that we're going to have to start hearing about this till the end of time, essentially. Conversations on Quinn Hughes' tenure as a Canuck and whether or not it was retirement worthy. Oh, should he be in the Ring of Honor? Should he be this? Should he be that? Etc., etc. I do think that Quinn Hughes, obviously the best defenseman the Vancouver Canucks had ever had, and arguably one of the most talented players who had ever suited up for this team, period. Although you still have to remember that player dynamics and relationships will play a part into it. Pavel Bure got his number retired, but that was after a long freaking time. Roberto Luongo only got Ring of Honor treatment, despite being one of the best goaltenders in the world during his time in Vancouver. I do think that if Roberto ended up winning a Vezina trophy, which he probably should have at some point throughout the course of his Canucks tenure, that would have made it a lot more easy for the Canucks to retire the number rather than just have it in the Ring of Honor. But still, all's this to say is that the retirement conversation is a difficult one, and at this point, it's hard to really say that anybody that is suited up for the Canucks over the past 5 years deserves that number retirement. You can win the trophies, you can get the nominations, you can get all these accolades, and you can be one of the most talented players. But at the end of the day, being a Canuck is the most important part. So with all that said, let me know your thoughts in the comment section below about the Canucks and the Wild. Minnesota takes it 5-2, Vancouver loses and officially clinches last place in the NHL. I hope you enjoyed this video, and bye.